Okay, welcome to Essential Namer. Before I show the script, I kind of want to show you the problems that I ran into and how I created this script to solve those problems. So here I have obviously just a comp with 7 shape layers, and I'll select a few. I'll hit P for position. We can highlight those, right click, and do add property to Essential Graphics. And that works out pretty well. We get just what we would expect. The problem that I ran into though is if this is pre-composed and we want to animate those, we come down here to master properties. I have 4 layers here called position, and I don't know which one it belongs to. And so I did a lot of fiddling, I felt like, with properties to try and figure out which property or which layer I was affecting. And it's like, well, the easy solution is let's just go and name these. And that's what I did. I would just go in here and manually name each one. But you know, after doing it a few times, you start to ask the question, is there a faster way to do this? So that was one problem I came across. I just wanted these to be automatically named according to the layer. The other problem was if I jump to another comp, and let's say I solo scale here, and I do the same thing, I do add property to Essential Graphics, I get this warning message because this comp that I have open in the Essential Graphics panel doesn't match the comp down here. And so it's highlighted red, and so that's not good. There's a couple different ways to get around that problem. You could come up here and do close problem 1, and then you could go ahead and add that, or you'd have to find your comp in this list. Now I just threw some dummy comps in here because the project I was working on was handed down to me. It had even more comps than this excuse me, and so trying to find the comp in this list got really old really quick. And so I did choose the option to close that comp, and then I could proceed by adding it. But again, doing that over and over again, it got a little tiresome, and so I wanted to go ahead and see if we can come up with a solution to fix that problem. And that's how we got Essential Namer. So with Essential Namer, it's a little bit easier. I can just select the layers that I want to add to the panel, and just to start fresh, I'm going to go ahead and close all these. And so I have my 4 layers selected, and so right here we have the transform properties that we can add really quick. I wanted those buttons because I found that I was adding those properties a lot. So if I want to add position, we can just click position, and you can see that we have the property name, and then we have the layer name. And we can just go through and add everything that we want really quickly. And so that works out pretty well. I won't go through all the properties. You can see that they're going to be the same. Let's go ahead and undo that really quick. We can also select our layers and click on all. If we want all the transform properties here, it'll go through and add all those for you. Okay. All right, so that's solution number 1, but what if we want to add properties that are not one of the standard transforms properties? And that's where we have selected. So this one can be a little bit fun. You have a little bit of customization as far as how they get named. And before I show selected, let's jump to the focus icon here. If we click it, it's going to open up whatever comp we have selected. It's going to open up in the Essential Graphics panel. So if we click it, we get automatically the comp, like I said, selected, loaded up, and we're good to go. So I could even jump back to like multi-add and click on focus. And so it's really quick to jump to your active comp instead of having to use the drop down to find it. Okay, so with selected, there's a few different ways you can add different naming structures here. So let's go down to stroke, and if I just go down to stroke width and click on selected, we just get a name of stroked width and then star. So we have the property and the layer name. But if I want even more added to the name, I can come up here and I can click on polystar. And I'm on Windows, so I'm gonna hold down Control and I'm gonna click on opacity. And let's go ahead and click selected. And so now we get polystar 1, opacity, star. So we've added these details. And let's see if we can add another one. Maybe we want to do, we'll go polystar, stroke 1, and then let's go color. And we'll click on selected. And so now we get this custom name of polystar 1, stroke 1, star. So we have the color here, even though it doesn't say color in the name. And looking at the hierarchy, we have our first level, our second level, and then our third. And so if you have more than 2 levels selected, it's going to take the top 2 levels. So just something to keep in mind when you're adding those. But I feel like this process gives you a lot of flexibility in how it's displayed up here in the Essential Graphics panel. Okay. One limitation right now is that if you have a selected property, it'll only add 1 at a time. So I'm hoping to come up with an update to where it'll add all selected, but things get a little complex when we're working with shape layers because there's a lot of different variations in here. So hopefully we'll come out with an update for that. Obviously this works with effects too. So, and I just clicked on the focus button. We don't have to do that. If I go back to my star, we can just go ahead and add something with the selected button. We don't have to click the focus button first. So here I just have particular applied. And if I want to go to like particles per second, we can click on selected and we get particular particles per second and then snow for my layer. And we can just go through and add these layers or these properties really quick. So definitely much faster than having to go through and do these manually. And we get, really good accurate names so that when these things are pre-composed into another comp. So if we go to my main comp and come up here to effects and we look at the master properties, everything's nice and tidy and it works out well, especially too if you're doing motion graphic templates and you're going to pass this off to somebody else. It's really clear as to what those properties are. So hope this works out well for you. Hope it solves some problems and speeds up your workflow, keeps things more organized. Let me know if you see anything that you'd like to have added, and thanks for watching.